Hi, welcome back to the Talk Nasty to Me podcast. We're on episode 2. How the hell is it Monday again? I literally have no idea. I am so excited to film today's podcast because it means that it's the end of my day. I don't know if that's a good idea for me to be filming my podcast the Sunday, the night before that they go out, but that's what I've been doing now for the second week in a row. So will we be sticking to it? Possibly. And to be honest, I kind of feel like I am the best version of myself content-wise when I am not so well. And by not so well, I mean I'm overworked, I'm tired, and I've just had an exhausting week and I just can't wait for this semester to be over. And after tomorrow, it is over for me. So that's really exciting. I don't mean to be like, oh my God, my life sucks, but I'm just being honest. Like, it's been rough. Essentially, for whoever that cares, I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you might care a tiny bit, but I am in my third year of college. I'm about to be done with my third year of college after tomorrow, but essentially it's kind of like finals week, but I don't really have final exams because of my major, so I just kind of have final projects. And every single day, I've just been doing a lot of schoolwork or going to Zoom classes, and then afterwards trying to find time to film or edit or whatever else. So yesterday, I literally spent all day working on assignments and projects, and I did not get the chance to film my Sunday video until literally 9 p.m., meaning that I finished filming at like 10 p.m., and then somehow I still managed to edit it all and upload it today at 12 noon, which is insane to me because usually it takes me a lot of time to edit. Like, I can't even tell you how many hours because every single video is a different amount of hours. But I'm just really, really proud of myself that I was able to do that. Is that smart of me? Absolutely not. Will I be continuing to do that? Absolutely not. I am never filming the night before and putting up the video the next day, unless it's like an apology video or something. Hopefully I never have to do one of those. I will never have to do one of those. But that's essentially how like my weekend has been going. And then the same thing pretty much today. Like, I finished editing the video this morning, uploaded it, and then got back to schoolwork. And then now it's 11 p.m. and now I am recording this podcast. But I'm excited about it because this is genuinely work that I want to do. I don't want to be writing 40 takeaways from a book I didn't read. You know what I mean? Like, I really hope that my professor isn't listening to this now. He might be, honestly, because he's very, very supportive of all my stuff. So thank you, professor, if you are listening to this. And I didn't mean it. I actually did read the book, okay? It was 220 pages. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading it in 2 weeks. I'm sorry, sir. But yeah, that's essentially been my day today. Once again, I am filming this while my parents listen to a sermon downstairs. They're Catholic, okay? So they like to listen to like little church services while they can. Yeah, it is really, really late, but that's what immigrant parents do. They just kind of stay up late and listen to church sermons on Sundays, you know what I mean? While their daughter is recording a podcast called Talk Nasty to Me. And no, today's been kind of crazy. I found out that one of my friends is involved with a 41-year-old. I'm shocked because if any one of us was going to be involved with a 41-year-old, it was going to be me, and it would be with Julian Casablancas, and it's not me. So I'm heartbroken. It's kind of been tough for me to tough pill to swallow. Okay. But let's not talk about that too much because that's not my business. Today's episode, I'm essentially talking about college in general. And by that, I mean, this episode is dedicated for those of us who don't really belong in college or don't feel like they belong. And on top of that, how I don't want to be considered a college YouTuber anymore. And I'm sick of it. So let's kind of talk about it. I think I touched briefly about this in the first episode about me not liking that title of college YouTuber and everything else. But I go to Temple University, for those who don't know. It's in Philadelphia. It was my top choice. It was pretty much my only choice for college because I didn't do any researches on colleges because I am a first-generation college student. Yes, I'm a first-generation college student. My parents are immigrants. My mom came from Poland, and my real dad, he came from Iran. I mean, they came from Denmark, but they came here. 1111, make a wish. But they came to America, and my stepdad, he is Polish as well. And no one in my family has gone to college except my cousins, but in my very, very immediate family, no one has gone to college. So, it was expected that I go to school, you know what I mean? And I don't regret that I went to college, but I do have a few regrets. Like, I kind of sort of regret maybe not taking a gap year because I don't know, I feel like that would have saved me a lot of time not knowing what major I wanted. If you didn't know, I've changed my major literally 5 times. I've been 5 different majors. Do I consider changing it 5 times, or do I change it 4 times if I've had 5 majors? Anyway, I was a sociology major, then psychology, health professions, advertising, and then media studies and production. It's been a ride. It's been a wild, wild ride. I should have been media studies and production from the very start, but lessons learned, and it is what it is. But I've learned quite a bit while in college now, and I've learned a lot about myself. But if there's one big takeaway that I've learned, is that I don't really belong there. I'm not a traditional type of college student, and by that I mean, while all of my friends were touring their colleges, I didn't know how to work college tours because no one could help me. I didn't reach out for help because I was embarrassed, because I was like, how do you not know how to set up a college tour? So my family and I, we just drove to the college and we walked around and we considered that a tour. I didn't know what to look for in a college. I didn't know how to do applications. I applied to 5 different schools and I did get into all of them, but I only wanted to go to Temple because I just liked the city. I just kind of wanted to be like, oh, I kind of want to live in Philadelphia. And then I did. And that's pretty much it. There's not much else to it. Like when people ask me why I went to Temple, I don't have much to say other than I kind of envisioned myself there. I don't know, the colors were cool. Cherry and white. That was cool. No, but I didn't know anything like other people knew about universities. They're like, oh, well, this school has a great architecture program. And I'm like, I have no idea. I don't even know how to look that kind of stuff up. And now, 3 years later, I feel way more knowledgeable about that kind of stuff. But it was hard on me, especially the first few months of going to college. It was very, very difficult on me because everyone around me seemed like they knew exactly what they were doing and everything was falling into place. And on top of that, there is a culture in most colleges. Temple kind of is considered a party school, I guess. I don't know if I really, well, maybe, yeah. It is a party school. And I wouldn't consider myself an introvert, but I would not consider myself an extrovert. I know there's, omnivert, ambivert. I'm kind of in the middle. I get very, very drained by being around people, but I really, really enjoy my alone time. But I also like being around the few people that I do enjoy, but it's very complicated how I am. But going to a school that's known for, like, what do you do on the weekends? And it's like, go to parties. That was hard on me at first because I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to force myself to try and like this. And I couldn't. I could not force myself to like it. I have made friends in college. I don't want to say obviously, but I have made friends in college, but a lot of them kind of share the same kind of views as me and kind of feel the same way about college. Kind of like, oh, well, it is what it is. I'm like 3/4 done and this was cool. But a lot of the memories that I cherish the most are honestly the ones that were spent at like my friend's apartment or just like a night in or something like that. And that's not to sound like, because I think it's so annoying sometimes when people are like, oh, I'm better than everyone else because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't hook up with people. Like, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do whatever you want to do. Do it in moderation. Do it how you want, and do it how as often as you want it. Do it never. Like, do whatever you want. The thing that was just difficult for me was kind of feeling like I came out of this entire college experience being like, okay, could I have done this cheaper elsewhere? Like perhaps a community college, like just a lot of questions, you know what I mean? But I think one of the biggest things that has come out of this, all of me going to college, is when I started my YouTube channel, it was the beginning of my sophomore year. So about 1.5 years ago. And obviously one of the best decisions I have ever made. But what this has led me into is being considered a college YouTuber. And I don't think I've ever really said this on the internet. I've said this to close friends of mine, but I hate being considered a college YouTuber. I don't like it. And quite frankly, I want to break out of that shell or that box ASAP. That it is what it is. I have made college-related content in the past because I felt like that was what was going to get views. I felt like that's what people wanted to see. I also didn't know what I wanted to make because I was just starting off my channel. So of course I was going to do like, oh, first day of college vlog, or I was like, all right, everybody prepare for my finals week vlog. And I was exhausted and I would force myself to vlog sometimes. And don't get me wrong, like, my last finals week vlog week that I did, I love that video so much because it was so fun and I can look back at that week. That week I quit my RA job. I'll get into that. But I quit my RA job and I was so happy about it. Like, don't get me wrong, that was amazing and wonderful and I love all of that. But sometimes I ask myself if it was worth making that kind of content, like first day of college or whatever. First day of I think I did first day of my second semester of sophomore year. Like, was it worth it? Was that what I actually wanted to be making? And I am happy that I made that content. I can look back at it and that some people may have found me from those videos, but it has kind of grouped me in with a genre on YouTube, which is college YouTubers. And let me tell you right now, college YouTubers, genuine college YouTubers work so hard at their craft, okay? They do study videos. They do what I eat in a day. They do vlogs, like whatever. I think the epitome of an amazing college, well, I don't even know if he would consider himself a college vlogger, but like Conan Gray, when he was back around on YouTube. Such an inspiration for me. And I love everything about him and his editing style and whatever. But he'll even tell you now that, like, looking back at his content, it wasn't him. It was a persona that he was trying to pretend to be, like, this, like, soft boy and everything. And, like, everything was perfect. And the studying and the notes and everything was beautiful. But it's like, was that what he really, really wanted to do? And this isn't like a soapbox for, oh, feel bad for me because I made content I didn't want to make. No, that's not what this is at all. I'm just trying to say that I made an oopsie and I put myself into a box that I no longer want to be in. And here's the thing. I like making some of those videos, okay? But it's just sometimes tough on me when I've started to branch out kind of with my content recently. Maybe some people have noticed. But I am doing the videos that I've always wanted to make, but I felt like, why would anybody want to watch them? And I spent so much time making content that I felt like everyone else wanted to watch. And so let's say, for example, people are commenting on my videos and they're like, please do a studying advice video. I got this a lot. Like, please help me and please make a video about how you study. I'm going to tell you something, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I suck at studying. I will never, ever make a studying tips video because I don't know how to study. I was never taught how to study in high school. I got to college. I still didn't know how to study. Guess what? I'm in my 3rd year of college, almost done tomorrow, and I still don't know how to study. And that's not my forte. And I can't pretend to teach people. I could sit here and pretend and be like, okay, make sure that you color coordinate, use your planner, sit down in a quiet room. Like, that's not me. And it isn't me. And it'd be so fake to pretend that's me. And I'm saying this because I feel like maybe a year ago me would have maybe made that kind of video because I felt like, well, that's what's going to get views and that's what people want to see, right? But that's not what I stand for anymore. That's not the type of person I want to be. Another thing, and please keep in mind that when I'm bringing this kind of stuff up, I'm not trying to shade anyone in the slightest way possible. I'm literally just being honest about my feelings and how I've been feeling for a very long time. But genuinely, I say these things. Sorry, I'm going through a mess right now. My cables are like falling. I'm still getting used to it. I need like a real desk. You know what I mean? Like, I have a desk, but it's like half a vanity and half a desk. And so it's just constantly a mess. Like, there's makeup brush, whatever. I'm just going to leave it alone. But what I'm trying to say is that I've been getting DMs. And I have been getting these DMs for like over a year now, but more so kind of recently. And before I talk about this, I talked about this in my last podcast again, but I feel this inclination within me to respond to as many DMs as possible. Before, I used to try and respond to every single DM that I got. I would sit on my phone for hours just saying thank you to people because I didn't want it to seem like I wasn't appreciative or that I didn't value these people who literally are the reason why I'm able to do what I do. You know what I mean? But there came a point where I can't respond to every comment anymore, every DM anymore. I can't read every single one all the time. And And that's really, really hard on me. And Tiffany Ferg, she made a really good point about this. She talked about this on her Instagram at one point, but it's hard because you feel a mass amount of guilt. I mean, not everyone does, but people like me feel a mass amount of guilt. And I think that kind of stems from wanting to be that YouTuber who wants to help in all situations. I want to be able to be people's friends. And this might be why I was an RA. I literally was an RA because I want to help everyone all the time, but I need to learn that I can't help everyone all the time. You can't be everyone. You can't be everything to everyone all the time. My old supervisor used to always tell me that because I do too much sometimes. But I started to get these DMs a lot about college and asking a lot of questions about college and questions about Temple and questions about dorms and questions about RA stuff and everything under the sun about that kind of stuff. And I used to respond to every single one, and it tugged at this like inner morale in me because I'm going to be straight up here. Any questions regarding college in that kind of sense, like what dorm should I live in at Temple's campus, or what are some study tips, or anything of that nature, I'm going to be honest and say I am not the right person to ask. And the reason for that being is because A, I don't enjoy being in the college YouTuber box, and B, because you're going to get a much greater answer from someone who genuinely enjoys being in college. It's not that I don't enjoy being in college, but it's not the experience that I think is the peak in my life. I think there's a lot more out there for me. A lot of people right now, especially in this time of quarantine, they're like, oh my God, I hate being at home. I literally I miss Temple so much. I miss my campus so much. And it feels weird because I can't relate to that. I can't relate at all because I don't cherish it as much as other people. I miss my college friends. I miss the friends that I've made there, and I miss certain aspects of it. But not once have I said while being home, wow, I really miss going to college. And of course I am going to finish because I literally have perhaps a semester left. I'll talk about that soon too. But yeah, it's very hard for me because as much as I want to help these people with their questions about Temple and everything, I won't give you as good of an answer as somebody who works for the university and genuinely loves Temple University. You know what I mean? And that's hard for me because I want to help people. And I was an RA. And if you don't know what an RA is, it's a resident assistant. And it's somebody who lives in the dorm and they're kind of like, they see the hallway, like that's their hallway. Those are their residents and they have to have meetings with them and they set rules and stuff. And if rules are broken, and they sometimes have to like call the cops and, it's people hate people who are RAs. I loved being an RA. It was like the best experience while being at Temple. While it was good. It was good until it wasn't good anymore. I made a video about it on my YouTube channel about YouTube secrets or RA secrets, not YouTube secrets. RA secrets, RA stories that I had from the past like year and a half of me working there. And it was a time. But I can understand why people, would reach out to me with questions like regarding being an RA and stuff while I was an RA. But now that I don't work for the university anymore, I'm no longer an RA. I'm probably not the best person to ask about like what dorm is best to live in because someone's answer will probably be different than mine. And questions about how to become an RA, you're probably going to get a much better answer from a current RA at Temple. You know what I mean? It's just not my area of expertise anymore. And so I feel like I might be disappointing some people by saying that because I want to make content that people enjoy and I want to make content that I enjoy making. So I'm just kind of at this constant state of like a tug of war within myself. And I don't want anyone to feel like bad if they have ever sent me a question asking about Temple or the college or anything. Like, please do not feel bad or like you bother me or anything like that. That's the last thing I want. But if I don't answer those kinds of questions anymore, it's probably just because I'm not the best person to answer them anymore. And I don't want to give you an answer that stems from my bitterness with things. And also, it is very hard for me to answer all these questions, but I do genuinely want to help, because I remember what it was like being a senior in high school and me not knowing anything about college and nobody in my family going to college, no one that I could ask about these questions. And, if I had a YouTuber who was going to my college of choice, I would feel like I could trust them and ask them a question. And that's why I feel like I don't want to step on anyone's toes and be like, don't ask me these questions anymore. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to disappoint. I don't want to give you an answer that's not good. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I can't give you an answer about what the best meal plan at Temple is because I can't even use a meal plan. You know what I mean? There are so many other people who will be good at answering these questions for you. So with that being said, same thing with content. There's so many other real college YouTubers who want to be college YouTubers who will be so much better at giving you the advice that you're looking for. If you want study tips, I'm sure there are amazing people on YouTube who make study advice videos. I never watch them. That's why I suck at studying. Like, I could be really good at studying at this point, but I'm not because I never watch those videos. And yeah, that's just how I see it. Or like people who could give you the best advice on how to make college, like meals while in college. I'm probably not the best person because I have a lot of food allergies and I'm vegan. And so my meals are always going to be very different. And, I'm going to have a real kitchen and it's not going to be in a dorm. So there are people out there who will fit that mold. So I want to be more kinder to myself when I'm trying to expand on what kind of content I want to make in the future. So I hope that doesn't break anyone's hearts. But on top of that, like, I just don't foresee myself making more college content in the future. Like, I can definitely see myself doing some here and there because there's some that I love, like a college week in my life. Like, those are kind of fun, especially if I'm doing like fun stuff that week. That's super fun. But how many times can I really show myself like studying with my friends? Not many, you know what I mean? But I did talk about how I was an RA. And so being an RA, it was great while it was great until it wasn't great, right? So I was an RA my entire sophomore year and then the beginning, like my first semester of junior year. And my junior year sucked ass. The only time that it got really good, honestly, was second semester, and especially when I was able to come home. That's sad to say, but it is what it is. It's just been a rough year for me for a multitude of reasons. I don't know if I'll ever talk about them, but it is what it is. And being an RA was super great, but I also felt like by my second year, like when I was an RA my very first semester, I felt like I didn't feel like an RA anymore, first of all, because I lived in a dorm that it wasn't a dorm at all. It was like just apartments. They were straight up apartments. And so nobody wanted to talk to me. I had like all basketball players, D1 athletes. Nobody wanted to talk to me. They didn't even know my name. You know what I mean? They just didn't care about me. That's totally fine. They got bigger things to do. They're getting like drafted for like the 79ers, 49ers. Like, and I'm not going to be their mentor at all whatsoever. Like, what do I have to give them advice on? So it was kind of tough on me when I fell out of love with the position. Kind of was sad to me also, like, people were not always the nicest to me. I remember my roommate, Moraine, who was also an RA, and she told me that one of their residents was like, "Does that Nicole girl ever smile?" And I was like, damn, that sucks that you see me in that light, but like, it's true. But I also was going through a really hard time. But that's also just my face. But what I'm trying to say is that it was pretty evident that this just wasn't for me anymore. And I found a passion in different things, like such as YouTube. And I want to pursue that way more than I wanted to be an RA. Absolutely. And so I kind of focused on my attention on that. And with all the bad stuff that was going on in my life, and then my YouTube was picking up, it was just like, dude, why am I still working for the university? You know what I mean? They're not treating me well. I'm in a bad position right now. I need to get out of this so that I can pursue what I love. And that's exactly what I did. And it's been awesome. But I also feel like I've kind of stepped down on the relatability ladder or whatever, because, there was a lot of RAs who would reach out to me and be like, oh my God, I think it's so cool that you're an RA and you're a YouTuber, or I'm an RA, and like we would share stories and everything. And there was that level of, interconnectivity. I don't even think that's a word, but there was a level between us that we understood each other. And now that got taken away because now I'm a YouTuber and I don't even want to make college content anymore. I want to make my own content. So it's like, okay, who are you anymore? So I've been going through kind of like an identity crisis when it comes to my YouTube channel. And it kind of sucked when I would do these interviews for, various things. And it was primarily all about college, and as if that's like my biggest identity. And I don't think that's part of my identity at all. I am very proud that, I'll be able to graduate college and say I'm one of the first people to graduate college in my family. And I'm very, very proud of that. And my mom is super proud of that. And that's all that she really wants from me, is that for me to finish school. And so it was kind of tough for me when I don't have much to say when it comes to these interviews. And they're like, oh, what's your study tips? What's your best advice for college here? And I'm like, I don't even feel like a college student though. I don't feel like one, because while all my friends are doing normal college person activities, I don't like that kind of stuff. So it's like, so why did I go to a school that's all about, school spirit, has awesome tailgates, has awesome football games, awesome basketball games, all these events, clubs, organizations, and I don't want to be a part of them because that's not my vibe. And I've always been like that. And so one of the things is like my boyfriend, for example, his family is total college family. I don't know how else to describe it, but they love everything college. They love college sports. They love getting like shirts and jerseys and stuff for like other schools, love watching games at other colleges, whatever. And they know a lot about these universities and stuff. And I know absolutely nothing. And my boyfriend loves his university. He gives so much credit to them, like, thank you for all that you did for me. Thank you for your service, North Carolina State. You know what I mean? And he loves his school and he goes to all these events and he's in all these organizations. And I'm over here and I'm like, I just don't care. And I know a lot of people relate to me on this. And if you're in community college, I know that you can relate to this. If you're at a big university and you feel like you don't fit in, I know that you can relate to this because there's that lack of like connectivity to you and your school. And like everyone around you is like, oh yeah, I love my school. I would die for my school. Like roll tide. Isn't that like what Alabama State says or whatever? And I'm like, I don't care. I don't like the idea of being tied to an institution. There's nothing wrong if you love your university, if you're proud of it. And I know somebody will definitely say, well, if you feel like this and you definitely went to the wrong university. No, I just think college might not be for me. I think that's what it is. Just because I got good grades my entire life and because I think I kind of pick up school kind of stuff material pretty well, and also because I'm really good at just getting by. And when I say getting by, I mean like when there is a project or something, I could not know a lot about the topic, but I can just pick it up. I'm a good procrastinator. I'm good at getting stuff done the night before. I'm good at that kind of stuff. And that is how I treat college. And that's not how everyone treats things. But just because I was successful in the past, that didn't mean that I belonged in college. And it kind of sucks because sometimes I feel like I'm sitting in my classes or, other things, and I'm just thinking about what other things I could be doing, like pursuing stuff like with videos and making my own videos and how much happier I am doing that. That kind of sucks because it's like, oh, you were so excited that you finally were able to switch to this major and it finally felt right. And it does feel right. But at the same time, I feel like it doesn't challenge me enough. Or I feel like this is a waste of my time. And so it's tough. I'm trying to somehow figure out if I can get credit for doing YouTube videos. I do this twice a week. I have a podcast now. I feel like I'm doing enough within media for me to be able to get some sort of credit, some sort of college credit for things that I'm learning in the classroom and taking outside and using that, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about that. I know that was a lot. That was not in a proper structure, but that's just what's been going on in my mind. And I was kind of talking briefly about how I only have one more semester. As of right now, I don't know. I don't want to like put this out on the internet and be like, I have one more semester when I don't even know. From what it looks like, if everything goes to plan, then I will be able to graduate in December 2020, which is ideally what I would like, because if I'm being honest, for me, it feels kind of pointless to stay at a university and pay all this money if I'm not loving the college experience. Like, so many adults were like, no. You don't want to graduate early. You don't want to graduate in less than 4 years. You don't want to graduate in 3.5. You need to have your full college experience. You will never be a college student again. You will never be a senior. This is so important. And you know what? To you. And I understand that. I will probably, after I graduate, I will probably never be a college student again. I will never be an undergraduate student again. I will never have the same experiences again. But I also feel like there's a lot more to life than the typical kind of stuff. So for anyone who is a high school senior right now, and perhaps because of, what's going on with COVID-19, your prom might be canceled, or graduation might be canceled, or any other type of events might be canceled. If you're upset about those kinds of things, that's completely valid. If you're upset because those kinds of things are canceled, that's valid. You know what I mean? Like, that is not going to happen, or might be postponed, or whatever the case may be. I get that. If you're upset, you are upset. However, I'm here to assure you that afterwards, after you're done with high school, there are bigger things. That didn't make sense. More bigger. There are bigger things out there for you. There are greater experiences. Some of my favorite life experiences had nothing to do with school. And, to some people, graduation may be their most memorable moment, because maybe they are the first person in their family to graduate. Or maybe, prom is extremely special to them because they always want to dress up and they were waiting for this moment since they were a kid. I get that. That's completely valid. Did I have fun, on my graduation and prom and everything else? Hell yeah. But at the same time, where I had the most fun with my friends were stuff that was not tied to the school. I missed my senior year homecoming. I missed it because I went to a music festival in New York instead. And I don't regret it at all. I went, I had the tickets and everything, and then homecoming happened to be on that day, and I was like, well, I'm a senior. And then I was like, yeah, but I'm seeing Chance the Rapper and J. Cole and Kanye West, back when I used to like Kanye West a lot more. And I'm seeing like all these really cool artists. I saw like the 1975. I saw I'm gonna get roasted. But I saw all these cool ass bands, and I don't regret it one bit. Yeah, I did miss out on those college experiences, or those high school experiences, but do I regret it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's different for everyone, but I'm just talking about my own experience. I feel the need to explain myself constantly because I really just don't want to, I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to, but same thing with college. I kind of feel like, I know myself best. And, Karen, while you may think that I will regret not going to some college event in the spring semester of my senior year, what could be, that's okay. I think that's a risk that I'm willing to take and save thousands of dollars for, and that's my own personal decision, and if I choose to do that, then so be it. So I don't quite know if that is when I'll be graduating, but I guess we will see. Time will tell. I just need to get some confirmation from a few people. If that is the case, then fall semester is going to be very, very busy for me. But I am excited. I'm very excited because I'm like imagining all these future experiences that I can have once I'm out of college, once I'm not tied to an institution anymore, once I can move wherever I want to go, once I can travel anytime I want. Like, well, not like that, but I meant like I'm not tied to a school system where you have to be there from, August to December and then January through May. Like, I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. And maybe if I gave myself a gap year to think about things and what I really want to do, I think my decision probably would have changed. I think I might have discovered myself a lot earlier. I think I would have talked myself into the fact that I don't belong to go to physician's assistant school. I think I would have, I considered going to cosmetology school for a while because I was in love with all things beauty my senior year of high school. And I think if I did end up doing that, I think I genuinely still would have been very, very happy with my decision. I think eventually I still would have fell back into somehow, media and content creation and video and everything else. But at the same time, I think I wouldn't have regretted that decision if I went to cosmetology. I mean, I don't regret it now. I still don't know how to do my hair. I'm still out here, giving myself purple shampoo masks and turning my hair accidentally purple for a while because I need to tone it and I don't want to buy toner. And I still don't know how to properly do my makeup, but I do my makeup how I like to. And, my nails, I'm not too terrible at doing them. But what I'm trying to say is that I think there's different paths that everyone can take at different points in their life. And you don't always have to follow the traditional route. And sometimes I regret going the strictly traditional route, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about why I felt like I was in a weird place with my YouTube for a while, and also responding to DMs, and responding to comments regarding college. And like I said, please don't feel like you were annoying in one bit for asking me questions about college, like if I answered you in the past or if I did an interview with you about college. Like, please don't feel like that, because that was a conscious decision I made to answer those kinds of questions, and it is what it is. But I'm just letting you know you're someone, how do I put this? There are people within each university who genuinely want to be giving you answers and will give you the best answer possible. Like, for example, like every college I know has like tour guides or whatever, but they're there to answer all your questions, and they're going to give you a straight up answer. You know what I mean? And I kind of know all those answers because I was an RA and because I had to kind of work with those people from time to time. So like if somebody DM'd me and were to be like, what's the best dorm to live in? I'm going to give you the same like slapstick answer that every single person gives. And it's like, well, this dorm is like the heart of campus, and then this dorm is like really close to this building. And like, I don't really know because I haven't experienced life like that. I've only truly experienced living in one real dorm only for 1 year of my time being at Temple, kind of, sort of. I don't want to give too much information, but yeah, it's kind of how I feel. And, for those of you who are in college currently and feel like maybe you don't belong, I get it. I totally get it. And some things that have honestly helped me with that kind of stuff is finding a group of friends who feel similarly. I have quite a few friends who are just kind of like, yeah, I'm excited to graduate. Like, I'm excited to kind of get out of this place. Like, we spend more time, hanging out at either our apartments or going off campus than doing like actual on campus things. Philly's fun. It's a fun place to explore and everything else, but that's kind of all we do. And so that's kind of the most fun that we have. So, didn't I mute? Sorry, I'm like so bad at muting stuff. I'm a bad podcaster. I'm still learning. Please be gentle with me. But yeah, that's kind of how I view those kinds of things. If you feel like you're stuck at your university, try exploring the town or the city that you're in more so. That might be hard if you're in the middle of nowhere. I'm so sorry. But yeah, don't feel like you have to give in to these pressures that college might be putting you into. Like, you should be going out on the weekends because this is the time of your life, and FOMO, and I hate that. I hate the fear of missing out. I hate that so much because I would see my friends go out and then I knew that they were having fun. And so then I'm like, oh, well, I want to go out. And then I would go out and then I'm like, I hate this. I should have stayed home. I literally should have stayed home. And I do that to myself like every single time with everything. Like, there are so many things in my life that I'm like, I am never doing that again. And then I'm like, oh, but it looks fun. So then I do it again. And I'm like, I regret this so much because I literally didn't have fun the last time. Why did I think I would have fun this time? And same thing goes, like, if you don't feel, good about schoolwork, for example. Say that you're like in the same boat as me. Like, it's your junior year. You're like, okay, I am going to finish my degree and I'm going to finish off the year, whatever. Make the most out of it in your own ways. I've always found myself to be a very independent person. I feel like it's harmed me. Like, for example, in high school, I wasn't in really any clubs or organizations or anything. I was in like field hockey and I read the announcements in the morning and I said the Pledge of Allegiance. But other than that, I was in the musical my senior year of high school, but I really didn't do much. And, that's what colleges look for. And it looks good if you're, in all these clubs and your resume and blah, 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 blah. But what have I found has helped me is being a more independent person to make up for your loss in the department of group activities. It's actually benefited me a lot more than me being in any groups or clubs at all, honestly. I want to make it clear that this podcast, I'm not going to be talking about my YouTube channel in every single episode. It's just that this is what has been on my mind. I'm also going to be done with my junior year after tomorrow. So that's why I am talking about this and why it's heavy on my mind, because I'm just so overwhelmed with thinking about school all the time and I'm tired of it. But it's really benefited me in my own way. So for example, yes, I was an RA, but that's really the only thing I've done at Temple. However, I started a YouTube channel. That's my own thing. And especially in the media world, they love that. They eat that shit up. Like all my professors, they love that I do YouTube. They're very supportive that I do YouTube. And they talk about all the ways that it can benefit me if I choose to go the typical, media job route, if that's what I were to choose. And that's cool because, most people are like, well, your own independent work isn't going to get you anywhere. You have to join clubs and organizations that are going to help you. And that's not necessarily true. I don't like group work. I don't like working with others. I don't really like clubs. I'm a very independent person. I think this stems from me being an only child. That's a problem. I'm working on it. I'm getting better. I used to do this thing in group projects where I used to do all the work. I've gotten a lot better at that, I will say. But me doing my own kind of thing, it's benefited me in a lot of ways. So if you kind of feel stuck in that realm, consider doing stuff on your own. Suggestion. Let's say you are, let's say you're something in music, okay? And why am I choking on my own breath? Oh my God. Sorry. Let's say you're into music, okay? And you don't really want to join an a cappella group, okay? Make your own music. That sounds, that is so far-fetched. Me being like, hey, you don't want to work in a group? How about you produce your own music? No. Find out how to make music in your own way. My friend Jake, he does covers every single month. You should definitely check him out. Jake Rupka on YouTube. But he makes covers every single month and he posts them. And that's awesome because while that is just fun and a hobby for him and he's doing what he loves and enjoys, it's funny because, he's literally helping his craft. I'm not sure how the musical world goes, but I'm pretty sure that would look pretty awesome if he's like, well, yeah, I produced, composed, whatever, this music by myself on my own, on my computer, and I, uploaded it. That looks good. And that's his own independent work. He doesn't have to talk to anyone for that. He doesn't have to be in a group for that. So I think if you're a person who feels stuck in the sense that, my craft is here, but I don't know how to get it out there, try and do stuff on your own, if that makes sense. For example, people who love makeup world, start a makeup Instagram, start a portfolio of all the makeup looks that you do on yourself. That kind of stuff, doing that kind of independent work and building yourself up by yourself, that looks good. And people will love that. And that looks great. Like, it's like, hey, this person is doing their own thing on their own time and it's not being run by anyone else. That takes a lot of discipline. Use that word on your cover letter. I am very disciplined. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that there's a possibility for those of us who don't feel like they necessarily belong at their university. They don't really want to get involved with any of the clubs or groups. I'm not saying like be lazy and don't do anything. Like definitely take advantage of what your school has to offer. But if there is something that you want to be doing on your own, do it. Just do it. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm rambling throughout this entire thing. I most likely am. But on top of that, I am very, very excited that tomorrow is my last day of classes. I just have one more assignment to turn in on Thursday, but I'll probably do it before then, and I can be free because let me tell you, it has been a mess with my entire like work/school schedule. I have completely stopped using my planner, which I totally should. And I try and do like an hour by hour kind of thing. When I do pick up my journal, like my planner, the other day I picked it up. I use a passion planner and it's marked like hour by hour and everything. And I planned out my entire day flawlessly. Well, the medicine that I take, it makes me extremely sleepy, and it's absolutely impossible to wake me up in the mornings. Like, it's very, very tough, and I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, and I felt like my day was like entirely ruined because I was like, shit, like I have so much to do. I have so much to accomplish by the end of the day, and I don't know how I'm going to get any of this done. And so it's been tough on me because while I'm trying to balance school and YouTube, it's tough because I clearly would rather be doing YouTube, but then I feel like I have to put in less amount of work and hours into YouTube, which I love. And that hinders me because to me, it's like relaxation. It's fun. It's a hobby of mine that I luckily get to call my job. And so when I get to put in less hours and it's less of a hobby for me and it's more of just like work and things I need to get done, and I don't like that. I don't like that kind of thinking, but nonetheless, it is quote unquote finals week. So I've developed an eye twitch again. I had it for a few days and it was really, really bad, and it's back and it's stronger than ever. I had matcha this morning and I had 2 teaspoons of matcha powder. That's more than I ever do. They say that it's not supposed to make you crash or jittery. Let me tell you, it made me crash and it made me jittery. Now, on top of that, I had coffee later. I shouldn't have coffee. Coffee is so bad for my insides. I don't take coffee well. And I'm just constantly on caffeine. I'm constantly exhausted. I'm sleeping little hours. It's really hard for me to wake up in the morning. And then my day is just filled with me sitting in front of my desk and just working and doing stuff. And this isn't a pity party, but it's just the reality of it. It just is. And I am proud of myself because I've like looked back at the past few weeks and I'm like, wow, I've accomplished a lot for myself. I'm very proud. I'm proud of myself that I'm so determined to have what I want. Proud of myself that I didn't give up on any of the things. I didn't give up on school. I didn't give up on YouTube. I haven't given up on the podcast that I literally just started. I haven't given up on these things, even though times have been tough. And so I don't know, it kind of like pushed me to the limits and tested me a bit. And it makes me excited because after tomorrow, I can solely focus on my YouTube, and I have never, ever been able to do that in my entire life. I've never been able to just do YouTube. When I did YouTube last summer, I was babysitting and I worked at Chipotle. And so now to just be able to only work on YouTube and not be in school, I don't know what this is even going to be like. I'm so excited. And every single time that I had like winter break or spring break or Thanksgiving break, that's when like my YouTube channel thrived because that was the only thing that I did. I should be relaxing. I should give some time to myself, but I'm proud of myself. And so that's really cool to say at the end of a long week. Is Sunday the beginning of the week or the end of the week? Let's be real. But I think I would consider it the beginning of the week, but it kind of feels like an end. I don't know. Monday feels like a real beginning, but I don't know. It feels good and I'm excited for what's to come, but I feel like I kind of really need to sharpen up, get a better schedule for myself because I've been slacking. I haven't worked out at all. I haven't been eating that well. I haven't been able to do any of the things I want to do. I haven't been on Animal Crossing in a week. I went like on once for like 10 minutes and I have weeds in my island now. And now I'm pissed because I spent so long pulling all my weeds and now I have weeds again. I don't even know what's going on. There's new characters. There's an update. I haven't been able to play. I want to get back to painting. I want to do things that I love doing. I've wanted to paint for so long. I tell myself every single time I do a painting, you're going to do a painting a month. You're going to paint more often, Nicole. And then I end up doing one painting a year. I've done one painting a year since like my freshman year of high school. So I've had like no paintings. I have a minimal amount of paintings. It sucks. So I really, really want to get back into that. I want to find like new hobbies and I want to start journaling. I want to start manifesting. God, I watched The Secret on Netflix the other day and that was a great decision. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I actually want to make a whole podcast episode about manifestation and the law of attraction. And I was considering making it tonight's episode, but I feel like I don't have enough information gathered to make a whole podcast episode about it just this week. And I actually want to dedicate time to it because if I do that episode, she's going to be informational. She's going to be powerful. She's going to be packed. But it's been crazy how much my life has changed since I kind of changed my entire perspective on life in a sense, because prior to me watching it, I felt like I was a very angry person. I felt like I was angry at the world. I was angry with myself. I was angry with others. And since then, I've just kind of been looking at everything more positively. Like, as you can see, like, yes, I did complain about all those things I had to do. Maybe I shouldn't be complaining as much as I am. But at the end of it, I'm like, wow, I am proud of myself. I'm happy that I did all those things. I cannot believe how much I'm talking tonight. Literally, I don't think I have to cut anything out of the entire podcast because there haven't been many pauses. There's a mirror right in front of me on my desk. That's where like I record, because it's like my beauty mirror. So when I'm working, I just stare at myself all day. I literally know what I look like at all hours of the day. Is that healthy or is that unhealthy? I should figure that out if that's healthy to know what you look like. There is like that trend on YouTube. I think it's coming back around. It's like, I didn't look in a mirror for 5 days. I'm like, whoa. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, what if, I don't know. Maybe that would be really good for me. The mirror is the literal reason why I pick my skin so much. I've gotten better about that. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm so sorry. But nonetheless, hope you guys all have a great week. I know I'm going to have a great week. I hope you do too. Maybe use this week to, if you're finishing up school, use this time for yourself, give yourself a little bit of time, congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back. Online school, that shit is not easy. Give yourself some credit where credit is due. Play some Animal Crossing for me, watch a movie, relax for a bit, recuperate, and figure out what you want to tackle on next. Maybe you want to learn how to crochet. Become the best crocheter ever. Maybe you want to get really good at painting. Hone in, learn how you can become a really good painter. I'm just excited to be able to finally use my time for myself, because I have not been able to use a single ounce of time during quarantine for myself. And I don't really consider procrastination as a form of a break or a relaxing time, because when you're procrastinating, all you're thinking about is the thing that you're supposed to be doing, but you're not doing, so that you're just like really stressed. My boyfriend always says that I do most of the talking in our relationship and he just kind of listens, and I kind of understand, because I really had no problem continuously talking this entire podcast. I just kept talking, even if none of it made sense. If I talked in a complete circle the entire time, it happened. And it didn't really stop. It was just a constant flow of words coming out of my mouth. It's midnight now. I'm sorry if this podcast episode was a mess, but I'm just reflecting about what's going inside of my noggin. But like I said, I hope that you guys all have a kick-ass week. It's going to be awesome. I hope that all of you stay safe, stay healthy, and please, once again, please take what I said before, like with a grain of salt. I just want to expand on my YouTube channel and show more of me, less of content that I think the algorithm would like to see. And on top of that, not beat myself up so much if I can't help everyone all the time, because I need to work on that. And you do too. If you do that, then make sure that's something that you work on this week, because I'll be working on the same thing, and then we could work on the same thing together. I need to go to bed. I hope that you guys have an awesome week. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, then you can rate it 5 stars on the Apple Podcast, or maybe you don't think that it deserved a 5 stars. That's okay. You can catch me on all my social media. It's just at Nicole Rafiee. That's NicoleRafiee. Yeah, my last name is spelled weird. I don't know why. And then my TikTok is Nikki Nasty, NiKKINASTY. Kind of rhymes, whatever. And catch me with a new video on YouTube this coming Thursday. I think you will all actually really enjoy it and that it'll be helpful. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you have a kick-ass day. Bye. See you next Sunday. Or Monday. See you next Monday. Bye.